Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. Talk about this one because I think this one is going to get the I don't think anyone's going to have a strong opinion on this. Whose roster would you rather have? Mark Pope at Kentucky or John Calipari at Arkansas? Right now, as of today, not assuming what they could get, but right now as of today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking Arkansas. I'm taking Arkansas because again, they got the
Ooh.
high end talent. I like what Mark Pope's put together. A lot of good players, but they're missing a dude. And you know who's got a dude, Rob? John Calipari. He's got Nelly Davis. That's a dude. That's a guy who's proven it at the highest level. He's gotten to the Final Four. He carried FAU for most of the last season, and I love the pieces, honestly, that he's added so far. Like I love Thiero. Like I think he's perfect for what they needed. A guy that's just like energy, plays hard, is gonna guard. Because these freshmen, we don't know how good they're gonna be. Like Boogie Fland and Carter Knox and Billy Richmond. We got no idea. But I like the group that he's put together so far. Jonas Adu up front, uh, Big Z, Little Z, Medium Z, whatever you want to call them. And again, I think Pope's done a nice job, and we'll talk to him about his roster here in a bit. But Arkansas, to me, they're probably going to add another guy or two. Yeah, the Razorbacks roster is superior.
So I would go with Kentucky because I think that what you're looking at with Arkansas is a team where you're basically going to have to rely on Nelly Davis to carry you through and hope that the freshmen are good enough to make it so that he's not scoring 33 a night in games where you go like 18 and 14. And I think that Kentucky, with some of the veteran pieces that they've brought in, some of the role players they brought in, and specifically some of the guys that you can just know what you're going to get from them. Lamont Butler, Otega Owe, Amari Williams. I think Kobe Brea falls into that category as well. Like I think that there are enough good basketball players that you can say that the floor for Kentucky is going to be higher. And then you just kind of bank on the idea like maybe Otega Owe takes the Buddy Hield leap and figures out how to be able to shoot, right? Like if you kind of squint and look at his growth path from a freshman to a sophomore, it's not all that different from what Buddy Hield did in his first 2 years at Oklahoma. So I think you kind of hope for that. And maybe they get Jackson Robinson, maybe Wooga Poplar or Chaz Lanier decides that they're going to end up at Kentucky. So I at this point, I would probably take the Kentucky roster and just say there's enough on there to win 22 games in college basketball, finish in the top 4 in the SEC, and get yourself a seed that is good enough where you can win a game and have a puncher's chance at winning 2 games in the NCAA tournament. Where I think with Arkansas, you got the best player and you got the best player at the most important position. I just don't know if they have the best roster, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's listen, again, I think they've both got their flaws right now. They've both done a good job putting together rosters. They're just very different in the look and feel of them, which
Hey,
doesn't
Jeff,
surprise me
it's
because
almost like
Cal's
it's not ideal to put together an entire roster of 13 basketball players in the span of 3 weeks. Like it's almost like that's not what you want to do, you know?
and that's why it's going to be hard for both of them. It's going to be very difficult for both of them to be consistent this year. I think they're both going to have their highs and their lows. It's going to be a roller coaster for both programs, for both coaches, for both teams, because you're throwing all these guys together. That's why I like what Cal's done a little bit more, because he's kept some of his guys from Kentucky and bringing them to Arkansas. I like that.
Yeah, there is a little bit more consistency, and that's also part of why I think that getting Jackson Robinson would be a really, really nice addition because you got someone that kind of understands the culture, understands the offense and the defense, understands what Pope is going to be like as a coach. So I hear what you're saying there, and it does not fall on deaf ears, even though most of what you say falls on deaf ears over here. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field 68 content.